Those are not surprising. We had expected that, especially away from the coast where you have the big lift. You know, Mauna Kea and Mauna Loa up around 14,000 feet. I think I heard Bob Van Dillen say earlier the temperature of one of those mountaintops was in the mid-30s. So it gives you an idea of how high they are. Even in August, they can be down there close to freezing. And we're down here at sea level, just above sea level, where we're standing here on the pool deck. So you've got a big change in temperature. Remember, the dry, what we call the dry adiabatic rate, is about 3.5 degrees per 3.5 degrees per kilometer. So, you know, you go up and the temperatures will cool off, and they have cooled off. Down here, we're in the mid-70s. But again, the lift, the extreme change in elevation over a short period, we've got very steep hillsides, so you get the orographic lift and you squeeze out that moisture. Meanwhile, the rainfall at Hilo Airport is just under 3 inches, so it shows you the difference between being on the coast and being up in the mountains. Let me show you the coast right now. And I just went down there to the beach there. That's Honolulu Beach. No swimming today. That's why there are no surfers. They've actually closed down the beach, but we'll have Ed zoom in on the coast there, and there's a ton of debris on that coast. And it's being washed in and kind of pulverized. And then coming from screen right to screen left, we have the Honolulu stream. They call it a stream on the map, on the Google map, so we'll go with stream instead of river, and that is rushing out. So that's why the water looks so brown down there in the foreground. And then I was told by the lifeguards, I was just over there, they've been there all day, keeping everybody out of the water. Not many have shown up. They were telling me that within a couple of weeks that debris will be gone and there'll be actually part of a beach will return. So it's just the natural cycle of the oceans, whether it's the Pacific, Atlantic, or Indian. You have those cycles where you have erosion. I've seen that myself on the East Coast, and within a couple of weeks, it kind of comes back. The sand comes back. The rainfall continues on and off as far as heaviness. We got a band here recently, and it was raining pretty hard. Winds are still gusting upwards of about 30 to 35 miles an hour. I want to show you the real wave action. This is down on the East Coast where we were this morning and early afternoon Hawaiian time, and look at the waves. These are massive. I don't even know, 15, 20 footers crashing onto the rocky volcanic coastline there, about 45 miles south and southeast of Hilo. We're just north of Hilo here on in Wanaku, and you get a sense of the power of that water, and that's what they're seeing up and down the East Coast there. Also big waves again on the windward sides of Maui. That's where they also have high surf. Rainfall will wrap up and wind down overnight tonight. Still some showers tomorrow. We'll still be in the moisture flow, but again today and tonight the biggest rainfall totals, and we'll see Ian and Kiana how many inches we can add up in some of these higher locations above sea level here on the Big Island.
And Mike, when you talk to some of the locals there, have they talked about, you know, the potential of the historic part of this storm? I know we may not have that, landfall, but we had a chance to speak to the mayor who said, he hasn't really seen anything to this extent across the islands.
It's been a while since they've had something like this, not counting Kona lows, which are more cold season situations. But these tropical systems, they've had 3 landfalling tropical storms here on the Big Island since the late 40s. So we're going back to 49, which is 77 years. 2 of those were fairly recently. So many of the locals remember 2014 Iselle and 2016 Tropical Storm Darby. Iselle was stronger. It was the strongest of the 2 with winds up around 60 miles an hour, knocked out power to thousands. And it's kind of a repeat performance. We're seeing about the same level of impact from that today from Lala that we saw back with Iselle back 12 years ago. So a lot of folks remember that. We don't have to talk about Iniki because that was 34 years ago, and that was the last hurricane to make landfall in the Hawaiian Islands off to the east, off to the west, not here on the Big Island. So they're wary. A lot of places closed today. Now I was at Ken's Pancake House, which is well known in Hilo, and I want to tell you, the waitresses there yesterday were telling me, I said, are you going to be open tomorrow morning for breakfast? She said, yeah, and they were saying, we only close for tsunami warnings, Kiana.
Wow.
Only close for tsunami warnings. Well, guess what? They closed yesterday afternoon, and they're closed. So there are a lot of places closed today. A majority of businesses are shut down today in Hilo.
Mike.
And for good measure. Now, downtown, by the way, downtown I did see a couple of buildings boarded up, but by far not a whole lot of prep as far as what you would see normally on the Gulf Coast and East Coast when you have a hurricane approaching.
And Mike, it's Ian. Yeah, you had said yesterday that there was no Waffle Houses. It sounds like you found the Waffle House equivalent. But you and I were talking about both making that sanctioned or unsanctioned trip up to the top of Mauna Kea. And you mentioned Bob Van Dillen's comment earlier. We've been following that. NASA's infrared telescope is reporting 32.0, Mike. And it looks like there's a few snowflakes up there.
Incredible. And what about the wind gusts? I didn't hear Bob mention what kind of winds they've had up there.
We've seen the highest gust was to 140. I see a sustained wind at one of the telescopes. What is this one? A sustained wind at 105, gusting to 121 right now. The highest we've seen, though, is 140.
Oh, that's like a Mount Washington observation in the winter.
That was the Canada, France, Hawaii telescope.
I had no idea it was that windy up there.
Yeah.
Well, you know, we were talking about 100-mile-an-hour wind gusts in the higher elevations, and I assumed they meant the mountaintops, but also some of these folks do live up around 6,000 or 7,000 feet. But once you get above there, it's desolate. In fact, you get above the tree line pretty quickly. And, you know, you and I have been up there, Ian. It's just lava and volcanic rock. There's nothing up there growing. Even at the I guess it's the ranger station, the visitor center, and that's just below 10,000 feet. There's very little vegetation. But the fact that it's snowing up there in August, that's crazy. But, you know, they have some pretty big snows up there in the winter.
This is just such a wacky storm in itself. Of course, we appreciate your insight there, being on the ground, boots on the ground here. We continue our coverage. That's Fox Weather Storm Specialist Mike Seidel in Oahu, Hawaii. Thank you so much, Mike.